Hi, in this video I'm going to show you a game that I haven't played, but a game that Mikhail Tal wished he'd played. Now when I say wish he'd played, he actually played Bent Larsen here, but he didn't play the game the way he wanted to play it, and it says in the book that where I've got this from that he deeply regretted not playing it the way I'm going to show you. Now the book doesn't actually tell me the way the game was played. It just goes on to tell me Tal's calculations, which are fairly accurate to Stockfish. One or two, if he parts, I'll go through them. But still, to think that somebody can calculate so deep in a position is as early as move 4 or 5 is pretty amazing. So like I said, is White here playing Bent Larsen. The game actually did start with e4, knight to f6, e5, knight to d5 and d4, and after Larsen played d6, Tal went on and played knight to f3 defending the e5 pawn. So after Larsen takes, Tal took, and Larsen played here knight to d7, and in the book Tal said that if Larsen was playing a simultaneous game, he would have just, without even thinking, just sacrificed the knight on f7. But because Larsen wasn't, he was just playing a one-on-one. He said that he believed Larsen did see knight takes f7 and wasn't worried about this. So for 15 minutes, I'm going to show you what Tal was calculating from this position. And it's pretty extraordinary, really. I think it's very interesting, hence why I'm making a video on it. So this is where Tal and Larsen actually got to. Move 5. This is where they actually got to in this game, and then Tal spent 50 minutes calculating from here on. So Tal calculated knight takes f7, forcing the king to take, otherwise Larsen would lose the queen, and queen to h5 check, forcing the king into the middle of the board unless Larsen wants to give back the knight. I'll show you why, because let's say he played g6, Tal would have took on d5 with check, which he didn't think Larsen would go for, and Stockfish agrees. So knight to d6, king to e6, defending the knight on d5. So c4, kicking the knight to 8, and after knight to f6, Tal said he would have played d5 with check while the queen is cutting off the escape for this king, forcing the king into the centre of the board where he's going to be more vulnerable, and later on potentially x-raying the king and queen with a rook. Now we do see this, and it's one of the dodgy parts I was talking about earlier, and I'll go through it. So after king to d6, Tal went on in his own mind, playing Larsen in his head, queen to f7, and after knight to e5, bishop to f4, pinning the knight to the king, just giving that queen a little bit more time. c5, giving the king some more breathing room. Knight to c3, a6, rook to d1, and now this is where Tal's calculations get a little bit rocky. It's not necessarily a bad move that he played, but what Tal went on and forced was bad. After these next couple of moves, the bishop in Tal's head would have came to f5, helping with the defence. Now, what Tal seen here was king to d4, bishop to e4, and knight to e4, just blocking. And each one of these, if Larsen would have played any of these, is great for white. Tal never thought Tal never even gave king takes d6. He didn't think Larsen would have played this, because this is what Tal saw. Oops, sorry. If he played takes on d6, played the rook here, screwing the king and the queen. And now Stockfish here actually says that white should go ahead and draw this position by repeating moves. what Tal saw was that if he played king takes on d6 and rook to d2 check, he would have won the queen. But actually, Stockfish says that white is pretty much lost here. So that is the one of the iffy parts of Tal's calculation. Now, realistically, as a chess player myself, I don't think I would go and take on d6 anyway, just because I believe I'd lose the queen. I don't know. I'm not too sure what I'd play. I just don't think I'd play d6. So it's not the fact. We've got to respect that Tal's calculating 12, 13 moves from move 5. So it's to think that he could actually see this far and play what most other players would potentially play is still absolutely amazing. But we'll continue with Tal's calculations here. Tal calculated that Larsen would have played king to d4, which I don't know if we would have played this or not. It's a great advantage for white, but I think in this position black would feel lost regardless, even here. So this actually is a brilliant move according to Stockfish. It first goes to an advantage for black and then thinks about it and says, oh, actually no, this is awesome. What it does is move the bishop off this square. You'll see why it was important there for the queen. And he had to take with the bishop, because if he took with a knight here, I'll just show you really quick, it's just mating 1. So Tal did calculate this part right and said that he would have had to take with the bishop. And from here, queen to e6. And this is the move, what Tal's seen, that stopped him from actually playing in the real game, knight taken on f7. This is what Tal foreseen, and this is what stopped him from in just under 50 minutes from sacrificing the knight. He's seen this defense, and Stockfish agrees with the defense, but he's still like completely lost for black here. After knight to e2 check and king to d3, Tal said he would have played queen to h3, and for some reason Tal said he would have played b3 check, queen to b3 check, which is completely lost for white. It just gives away all of his advantage and plenty for black. I don't know if it was a typo. I mean, Stockfish says queen to c3 check. That's what white should play here, and it's completely won. In fact, it's mating something like 13 moves from here. We'll go through the mate. For some reason, like I say, it could have been a typo, but Tal says he would have played b3, queen to b3 check, and it's completely lost now for white. They're going into pretty much an endgame, and white would be down massive material. So I'm going to assume it was a typo and say that queen to c3 check is what he meant to put down. So I'm going to go into the mate here. So after he's forced this, king to b1, queen to c1 check, and after the king takes on a2, knight to c3 check, after b3, d1 check, bishop blocks, queen to a1, bishop back to g. By the way, this isn't Tal's calculation now, this is Stockfish, and this is what Stockfish says is the best moves for both players in this position. So after bishop g6, bishop e2, I can't really explain much. I can't explain moves like this, to be honest. I can't explain them. So I'm just going to show you what the if played like an engine, what would have happened if black played the best defense and white played the best attack, and that's mate. So just imagine if this is probably why Mikhail Tal wished he'd played knight takes f7, because of it's other than the dodgy. Other than this, I'll just get to it really quick. Sorry. Other than this, the calculations was very accurate. This wasn't calculated properly, this rook here, but again, they were just calculations. You got to give the guy massive respect for being able to calculate this far. Other than that, like I said, the calculations were spot on pretty much, right to the end. And it's a book I definitely recommend. I've only started reading the book. I only just started reading the book, and that's the first thing that the book says. Here it is. Type with Mikhail Tal. I hope I don't get done for any copyright things. I'm not. I think I'll be all right. Yeah. So it's absolutely fascinating. A game that Mikhail Tal wished he'd played. I am pretty new to this still, so I hope I'm getting better as the videos go on. I hope this game was interesting. I hope it's gave you plenty of ideas. And I just want to add before I go that I stream most nights on Twitch. Just a tummy tickle. If you want to come in, say hello, even drop a challenge, we'll play. No problem. Again, I am new, so any likes I can get, any follows or subscribers is absolutely fantastic. They are massively appreciated. So I'll leave it there. Again, hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.